Ever pondered why we rejoice Christmas the way we do? What are the origins of these beloved customs? These inquiries often ignite curiosity, particularly during the holiday season. You see, the customs we treasure during Christmas have roots that plunge deep into history, merging with ancient winter solstice festivities. Take, for instance, Mithraism. This Roman mystery religion applauded sun god Mithras' confidential rituals and feasts. These festivities, conducted around the time of the winter solstice, were brimming with cheerfulness and elation in the return of the sun. Some of the joyous elements of our Christmas merriment mirror these olden rites of Mithraism. Then, Saturnalia, another Roman fiesta that occurred during the winter solstice period. Saturnalia was a moment of role reversals, where societal norms were inverted, and the usual sequence of things was granted a holiday. Lavish celebrations occupied the streets, homes, and hearts of the populace. The tradition of exchanging presents during Christmas, that can be traced back to the gift-providing customs of Saturnalia. Interestingly, early Christianity ingeniously adopted these pagan customs to allure followers. By merging pagan practices with Christian views, the Church made the new faith more acceptable to the populace of the period. The consequences of not converting were severe, with non-believers often confronting societal or even physical discrimination. And let's disregard Yule, an ancient Germanic fiesta that celebrated the winter solstice and the reappearance of the sun. The Yule festival was marked by the lighting of candles, a ritual that we persist today with our Christmas candles and sparkling lights. But not merely about candles and presents. Numerous of our Christmas customs, like ushering evergreen branches into the house, have endured through the centuries from these ancient festivities. They've been transmitted through generations, transforming and adapting, evolving into the traditions we appreciate and treasure today. So are our Christmas customs merely a continuation of ancient winter solstice festivities or a well-planned strategy by early Christians? It's an intriguing question to contemplate as we adorn the halls and assemble around the Christmas tree, isn't it? The origins of our Christmas customs are merged with the ancient past and the strategic choices of early Christianity, a tribute to the enduring power of merriment and the human need to bring illumination to the darkest days of the year. The winter solstice, the longest night of the year, has been celebrated by cultures around the globe for thousands of years. It's a time marked by the North Pole tilting 23.5 degrees away from the sun, resulting in a night that outlasts its daytime counterpart. But far from being a time of despair, this longest night has been a beacon of hope and renewal, a celebration of the sun's return as we transition from darkness into light. Ancient civilizations understood the significance of this celestial event. In the heart of Rome, the Feast of Saturnalia was held in honor of the winter solstice. It was an extravagant celebration featuring role reversals and gift exchanges, elements we now associate with our modern Christmas festivities. Meanwhile, in the frosty landscapes of pre-Christian Scandinavia, the Feast of Jul or Yule was observed. This celebration marked the solstice with the lighting of candles, a symbol of the sun's return. The flames served as a reminder that even in the darkest times, light would always find its way back. In the British Isles, the ancient site of Stonehenge holds a special place for the winter solstice. Even today, pagans and druids gather in the pre-dawn chill to chant, dance, and witness the first rays of the sun peeking over the horizon. It's a poignant moment, a tangible link to our ancestors and the natural world around us. Across the pond, the Circle Sanctuary in the United States holds its own celebration on Winter Solstice Eve. It's a time for reflection, a pause to honor the changing seasons, and a chance to connect with the rhythm of the earth. These traditions, these connections to the natural world, remain integral to many cultures. They resonate with a primal part of us, reminding us of our place in the universe. Yes, the winter solstice may be the longest night of the year, but it's also a celebration of light's inevitable return, a testament to resilience and hope. And it's on this longest night that many of our Christmas traditions find their roots. One of the influencers of Christmas was Mithraism, a Roman mystery religion that celebrated the sun god Mithras. Mithraism was not just a faith, but a way of life in the Roman Empire, particularly among the military. Mithras, the sun god, was revered and seen as a symbol of light, truth, and integrity. Integrity. Mithraism didn't just influence Christianity, it was absorbed into it. As the Christian religion started to gain dominance, the elements of Mithraism, such as the celebration of the sun god, and were incorporated into traditions. The figure of Mithras, the sun god, and his birth story share a striking similarity to the birth of Christ. This December 25th was adopted by the Christian Church as the birthday of Christ, further intertwining the two traditions. However, this absorption was not without its consequences. Who didn't convert faced persecution and many Mithraic temples destroyed. Yet the essence of Mithraism lived on through community and feasts, much like our Christmas dinners today. The influence of Mithraism on Christmas is, from the celebration of the sun god, the winter solstice, to the community feasts, see echoes of these ancient traditions in our modern celebrations. So, the next time you sit down for your Christmas dinner, remember, could our Christmas feast be a modern version of these ancient rituals? And ponder on the dramatic journey of Mithraism, from being a dominant religion to being absorbed into the fabric of Christianity. Another influence comes from Saturnalia, a Roman festival that involved role reversals and extravagant celebrations. Saturnalia was more than just a party. It was a time when social norms were flipped on their heads. Slaves were treated as masters, and their masters, the heads of the household, served them. It was a topsy-turvy world, a carnival-esque festival, where everything was turned upside down for a few days. Here's an interesting twist. The Saturnalia practices were eventually incorporated into Christian traditions. When Rome officially adopted Christianity in the 4th century, the Church integrating some of the Saturnalia customs into its own celebrations, particularly around the time of Christmas. The intent was to make the new religion more appealing to the pagans and thus promote conversion. However, those who chose not to convert often faced dire consequences, from being social outcasts to even facing persecution. Now picture this, a world where the usual order of things is thrown out, that the masters of the house, donning the simple clothes of their servants, would serve them meals. And the slaves, they would be wearing the clothes of their masters, enjoying a feast, a respite from their usual duties. It was a time of merriment, a time of indulgence, and a time of freedom, albeit temporary, for those at the bottom of the societal ladder. But Saturnalia wasn't just about role reversals. There were other customs too. Gift-giving was a key part of this festival. Gifts were exchanged among friends and family, a custom that we see echoed in the Christmas tradition of today. There was also a lot of feasting, another hallmark of modern Christmas celebrations. It was a time of joy, of togetherness, and of celebrating the spirit of humanity. So Saturnalia, this ancient Roman festival, has left its mark on the way we celebrate Christmas today. The spirit of giving, the feasting, and the merriment all find their roots in this age-old celebration. And it also gave rise to a significant shift in cultural and religious dynamics. So, when you exchange gifts this Christmas, remember, you're partaking in a tradition that dates back to ancient Rome and has survived a tumultuous history of religious conversion and societal evolution. The Germanic festival of Yule also has an enormous influence on Christmas. As winter's darkness descended, the ancient Germanic tribes looked to the Yule festival, a celebration of the winter solstice, as a beacon of hope and light. Yule was more than just a festival, it was a lifeline, a promise that the sun would return, and with it, life. Notably, the Yule traditions evolved and became intertwined with Christian beliefs. This happened when Christianity began to spread across Europe. The Church strategically decided to adopt Yule and merge it with the celebration of Jesus' birth. This decision was made to make the new religion more acceptable to the Germanic people. It was a strategy that it came with consequences for those who didn't convert to Christianity. Those who continued to celebrate Yule in its original form faced persecution and were often ostracized by society. At the heart of Yule was the Yule log, an enormous piece of wood, often an entire tree that was chosen with care and set aflame. This tradition was incorporated into the 12 days of Christmas. The lighting of candles, another critical aspect of Yule, was also carried on to modern times, seen in the twinkling lights that adorn our Christmas trees and homes. The tradition of bringing evergreen boughs into homes during Yule evolved into the modern custom of decorating Christmas trees with evergreen branches. This practice symbolizes endurance and resilience, reminding us that even in harsh conditions, life can thrive. The next time you light a candle or decorate a Christmas tree, remember, you're a tradition that began with the ancient Germanic people, transcended through Christianity, and survived despite the odds. Every time we celebrate Christmas, we're not just participating in a modern holiday, but continuing an ancient tradition of hope, resilience, and the celebration of life. Our modern Christmas is a fusion of these ancient winter solstice celebrations. As the centuries rolled by, the Christian faith spread across continents, a process not only of simple expansion but also one that involved absorbing and adapting local customs and rituals. Christianity, in its march across the world, often sought to incorporate rather than eliminate the pre-existing pagan customs of the conquered regions. This approach functioned as a means of appeasing the populace and easing the transition to a new religion. Many of these traditions, rooted in ancient pagan celebrations of the winter solstice, found their way into the Christian observance of Christmas. Take the Roman celebration of Saturnalia, for instance. The festival's spirit of merrymaking, gift-giving, and role reversal resonated with the Christian message of joy, generosity, and equality. And so these elements were woven into the fabric of Christmas, giving us the festive season we know and love today. However, not everyone accepted this transition willingly. Those who resisted the conversion often faced persecution and social ostracization, with non-believers being deemed heretics or even witches. The lighting of candles, a tradition that harks back to the ancient Germanic festival of Yule, was incorporated into Christmas of Christ, the light of the world. This is why even today you'll see candles flicker in windows and church altars around Christmas time. Similarly, the influence of Mithraism, the Roman mystery religion that celebrated the sun god Mithras, is also evident in our modern Christmas. The Church chose December 25th, close to the winter solstice, as the date to celebrate Christ's birth, symbolically linking the return of the sun to the birth of the sun. But for those who did not accept the new faith, this date became a day of fear and suspicion, often leading to witch hunts and purges. And let's not forget the evergreen boughs that adorn our homes during Christmas. This tradition is a vestige of the old Germanic practice of bringing greenery indoors to celebrate the winter solstice and the return of the sun. In essence, the Christmas we celebrate today is a rich tapestry woven from strands of diverse traditions, each with its own unique history and symbolism. These ancient rituals and customs, adopted and adapted by Christianity, have been passed down through generations and have shaped our modern Christmas. So as you celebrate Christmas this year, remember the ancient roots of these beloved traditions and the dramatic consequences that unfolded when faiths collided. So we've embarked on a journey through time, delving into the beginnings of our Christmas customs. Our exploration revealed that the roots of our present-day celebrations are intertwined with the strands of ancient societies and their profound respect for the winter solstice. The longest night of the year, signifying the shift from darkness to light, has been commemorated with festivities for ages, spanning thousands of years. We've dug up the impact of Mithraism, the mystery religion of the Romans, known for its admiration of the sun deity Mithras. Their clandestine rituals and banquets, paying tribute to the sun and its emergence post-solstice, have discreetly infiltrated the way we observe Christmas today. Following this, we stepped into the lavish observances of Saturnalia, a festivity where the Romans indulged in role-swapping and gifting. This tradition has also made its way into our holiday customs, particularly noticeable in the act of exchanging gifts during Christmas. It's crucial to mention that the integration of these pagan customs into Christianity wasn't entirely organic. Rather, it was a tactical maneuver to attract the followers of these ancient faiths. By assimilating the rituals and festivities of these older religions, Christianity provided a familiar sanctuary, thereby drawing in more followers. Those who resisted the conversion often faced social exclusion or even persecution, which ultimately resulted in the gradual disappearance of the original pagan practices. Lastly, we traveled north to the old Germanic festival of Yule, a commemoration of the winter solstice and the sun's return. The comforting radiance of candles during Yule, symbolizing the impending return of longer days, is reflected in the sparkling lights of our Christmas trees and the lit windows. Hence, we observe that our modern Christmas customs are not merely a byproduct of Christian beliefs, but rather a rich mosaic interwoven from various ancient cultures and their veneration for the natural world. These traditions have withstood the sands of time, evolving and adapting, but invariably preserving the essence of their origins. Bear in mind, when you celebrate Christmas, you're not only participating in a Christian holiday, but also carrying forward traditions that hark back to thousands of years ago. As the sun emerges from the darkness, ushering in longer days and a warmer glow, we wish you a joyous holiday season. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more intriguing voyages into history.